Hello everyone! I just watched the first 50 minutes of the new Zack Snyder movie, Army of the Dead, in this streaming that Netflix set it up. I got about 20 minutes late for the first stream, but apparently it was just half an hour of some workers digging a vault in the desert with some pre-recorded messages from Zack Snyder and the cast. I haven't seen this kind of marketing strategy before. I guess I'll find out later on Twitter if this is something that has happened before or not, but it was quite interesting, very interesting, having about 20,000 people waiting there and a lot of them actually interacting with the video in the chat. I mean, obviously the same thing would have happened if no one wrote on the chat, as the video was asking everyone to do, but hey, it seemed very original to me and entertaining for some people, surely. First, I have to warn you that the footage in this video might not make much sense because there's some violence that YouTube will not like and a lot of boobs that I'm definitely cutting because I know for sure YouTube is not going to like, and I like to get this video out as soon as possible, so the more copyright claims I can prevent, the better. Okay, this is me editing after I've already finished this video, but I just wanted to add that this is a review only of the 15 minutes that have been published by Netflix online, and I will be doing probably a review of the movie next week because I'm going to watch it this weekend on the cinema, and I know there's already reviews of the full movie out, but I just don't think it's fair to talk so much with spoilers about it when we know that next week everyone is going to have access to it on Netflix. So yeah, I'm going to try to make a full review, but that will come out next week. Thank you. Okay, let's get into it. So we start with a group of army men that are transporting some secret object from Area 51. We see two of them talking about it and what it could be, like, you know, the Holy Grail, a first copy of the United States Constitution written on the blood of the Founding Fathers, aliens, you know, normal stuff. On another part of the road, we have a just married couple that it's kind of celebrating. The wife is giving some wife favors to his new husband while he's driving. A very distracting favor, if you know what I mean. Very dangerous to do on the road. Of course, if anyone didn't know it was dangerous, the obvious thing happened and there's a crash between the couple and the army truck. We have a very unnecessary massive explosion here, and the crate with the supposed object the army guys were transporting, it's open now and in the middle of the road. If anyone didn't know at this point, this is a zombie movie and obviously a zombie gets out. This zombie seems to be very smart, very fast and very strong as well. It's kind of like a gym dude zombie, but smarter. So again, obviously he bites the army guys and the fun starts. Before anything else, I have to say I loved this opening credit scene, what we see in the city of Las Vegas properly. It's funny, it's creative, it's 100 times better than the opening scene. I mean, the dialogue of the opening scene, it's just bad. Anyone could have written those two dialogues between the two army guys on one side with their theories, and the terrible flirting between the couple as well as the accident that everyone sees coming from a mile away. And I hope that's by choice, to create a contrast with the rest of the movie, hopefully. But the opening credits. We start already with infected showgirls in attack. I can't show it because there's too many boobs, but it's way better shot, it's funny, it's more colorful, it's great. It has a very similar feeling to the trailers we've seen so far, and the song Viva Las Vegas plays fully here as well. We go through the city and see how a group of people, including some of the cast we already know, like Batista and Ghost. I'm not looking up his name right now, sorry. They seem to be getting some of the last survivors out of the city, and there's these cool shots of them posing with a picture of their past lives, graduations, their families. I love this. It kind of looks like a simple planned music video somehow, but it works really well for me. As I said, they're getting survivors out of the city. The last one seems to be some kind of high official. At the same time, they're bombing the city and closing a barrier around it. Something really cool here is the story of this woman. We get her full story in barely any screen time. To start, she lives in the suburbs, but they're being overrun by zombies, so she gets out in this truck. I don't know if it's an ice cream truck or a postal service truck, but you know what I mean. For the picture she's holding, she's a single mother. At some point her kid gets lost, but she luckily finds her again, and we know it's a lot later because for one, her clothes and hair are clearly different, but they even have time to make the truck zombie proof. We also see her fighting some zombies with ghosts and rescuing, or better, trying to rescue some people from a car, but she sees they were beaten, and of course she's been through some shit by this point and shoots them. In the next shot she's drinking, so we know she's having a shitty time doing all of this. It really is the same thing that ends up happening on every zombie movie or show, but told in seconds. As they're getting out of the city, it looks like she's going to make it, but zombies are too close and she tries to hold them back so her kid can get out. But her kid is a stupid kid, probably very scared and traumatized, to be realistic, but it's so stupid seeing her go back to hug her mom and just die there. So yeah, we get a full story of this woman and her kid in no time at all, including her death. Really great that they got to tell it so quickly and with so many other things happening at the same time. It's not like it's centered around them or anything. Something I'm guessing for what we've seen so far is that either the first zombie is kind of a king of zombies, or maybe because he's been one for longer, he's not as hungry crazy as the rest, but he still seems way smarter than the other zombies around that just seem to go for blood basically, as zombies tend to do. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Let me know what you think about it, how you think this movie is going to go before watching it. There's still 1 week until the movie is out on Netflix. Some will have it on local theaters the day after these 15 minutes were released. I, for one, I'm really looking forward to see it this week. I always enjoy when they mix zombies with other types of movies that are just not plain horror. In this case seems to be a mix of action movie and heist movie with some comedy. Looking good so far. These 15 minutes have not really changed my mind one way or the other about this movie at all, but I definitely find interesting how this marketing campaign is going so far. Okay, now that we've got this out of the way, let me just rant for a minute about the way governments and the army's strategies are or look like in these movies, because there's part of it in this movie and it drives me mad. If you've read Max Brooks' World War Z, Max Brooks' book, not the movie, the book, you'll know what I'm going to talk about. If you haven't read the book, really go read it. It's amazing and it has a lot of different stories about zombie apocalypses from different parts of the world, so if you don't like one, you will like a different one for sure. Also, I want to check if I was getting Max Brooks' name right, and apparently he is Mel Brooks' son, you know, the legendary Mel Brooks that helped make a lot of amazing movies, like wow. But anyway, in one of these stories you get a group of either army people or just armed civilians, I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly, but they have weapons and a lot of ammo, and they just go to one of these infested locations and start to shoot from a safe place non-stop. While some of them are reloading their weapons, the rest are still firing, and they just keep going for as long as necessary. Now, obviously, we wouldn't have as many movies and TV shows if this was what they did the first day every time. But here, for example, they seem to know where there are survivors. Now, there could be more in some of the hotels and houses for sure. So bombing the city like they seem to be doing, yes, those kill a lot at a time, but also just creates a lot of damage on survivors, possible survivors, and actually material damage. And yes, no one is ever going to use one of the cars full of blood ever again. All the hotels are going to need more than a coat of paint, but the roads are fine, the building structures, it's they're fine, it could be used again, but they will not be used if you destroy it by choice. So my thinking is, if you have an army the size of the US Army, why not just get some guys at the top of some hotels and just start shooting down? Those are my 2 cents. I'm not very well versed on real army implications. I'm not a military person or anything, so what do I know? But it has always been something that really bothers me about this type of movie. That's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you made it this far, please subscribe, comment, like. You know, it helps so much and I'll be so happy. So please do it and have a very good day. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.